Welcome to the Digital Maddy Show. This is a platform where I share my knowledge on video creation, digital marketing, chatbot marketing, and how to grow your business through video making. I also invite many influencers and digital marketers on this show and ask amazing questions to extract their secrets of business. Let's get started with your host. Hi, my name is Mithil and I'm a YouTube and video creation coach, and I help aspiring video influencers to create content and monetize their content through video making. Today we have an amazing guest on our show. He's already into the studio. Let's welcome him. So we have on our show Craige, and let me give a little bit of an introduction of who he is. He is a success coach from the Caribbean island of Saint Lucia, who helps ambitious yet unfulfilled men and women overcome their fears and hit their big goals. Before starting his coaching business, Craige was a physical education teacher and an educational talk show host at the young age of 21. After a few years, he moved into entrepreneurship, freelance web designing, and into social media manager, and he did client work. A lot of events occurred that rocked his life terribly, including having a child and ending up losing him in the first 3 days. I'm really sorry to hear that. He also endured a lot of personal hardship and eventually had to move from a strained relationship to becoming a new person. A few years later, he went on to live his true passion as a success coach and helping others reach their next level and achieve their big goals to reach their full potential. It is his mission to help others who have big dreams, many challenges or obstacles, and are about to give up and push through, refocus, and live meaningful and fulfilled lives they were meant to. Craige enjoys documentaries and also watching soccer. So, Craige, welcome you to the show.
It's a pleasure to be on, and I really look forward to it.
Absolutely. So, Craige, I would like to ask you, which is your favorite quote that gives you the inner power to move on a daily basis?
I could think of many, but one that really sticks for me is that the chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they're too strong to be broken. And this really speaks to the little things that we do across our lives and how they really add up to who we become and who we are going to become. And if we don't interrupt those, or if those are not in accordance with the vision that we have, we will end up going astray. And really, we need to really check ourselves and ensure that our actions are congruent to the beliefs and desires and goals that we have.
Amazing. Like, this is a very deep quote, proverb, and amazing. It touched my heart. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, Craige, can you share your backstory a little bit? I gave an amazing background of yours, but everybody would love to hear from you.
Yes, sure. Now, I used to be a physical education teacher, like Mithil said, and thanks to that intro, by the way, it was quite good. And I left to go into an entrepreneurship, and I did a lot of freelance and client work, and I still do a little bit of it currently, but really it's in the minority of what I do. And I had quite a bit of hardships, like he said, and really, it was a really, really tough journey. I mean, I say this, but in the moment when you really go for something, it's never funny. You know, almost in retrospect, you could gain more perspective. So generally, I had a lot of mishaps, end up being unexpectedly pregnant, end up losing a child, and end up really things just spiraling out of control. And for a while, even business wasn't perfect. And I went for a lot of hardship around that. And now, as a success coach, learning all those lessons and really having a lot more perspective among many other areas of life. I feel equipped and mission spirited to help others so that they have it easier and that they really get to where they want to go, get to their dreams. So when I say they, I mean each and every one of us has a different ideal version of who we want to be, what we want to achieve. And most people throughout their lives, they lose sight of that. You know, they say that the richest place is in the graveyard, and it's true. Lots of unfulfilled potential. So generally, especially as an educator, seeing so many people not reach their full potential, whether they were precocious or just even if they weren't, and even many adults who were struggling day to day, and not seeing them really push through, having an excuse or a reason for not doing so. That's why I really coach. And generally, my mission is to help those people, especially the super ambitious who really want to take things to that next level, get there and do that as efficiently as possible.
Amazing story. So let me ask you a few questions, that will be benefited to all the people who are listening to this particular show. So definitely people are going through some rough times with COVID and with the entire global lockdown and everything. So something related to this. But then what are some key lessons you have, like few of them are struggling to get out of that place and pick themselves up? Something like self-motivation or something.
I mean, you mentioned motivation, and in a sense, it's an abused subject. You know, it's easy to tell somebody, you know, be motivated, you know, just do it, just grind hard, you know. I mean, we all know all those buzz terms, but generally something more practical, because motivation is very fleeting. It comes, it goes. What people don't have is not that you're not motivated, they lack clarity as to what they want in life and who they really are. And what they want in life, that is really blurred by all the influences around them, being constantly distracted, social media, and always seeing idols and not giving any attention to themselves. So whether it's this recession and pandemic currently or any particular time, one of the things that could really help others is that they take some time to really attempt to get clear as to what they want, because a lot of us believe that they know what they want, that we know what we want, but we don't. And you know why we don't? Because we barely think about it, you know, and we may be living somebody else's life, somebody else's dream, unconscious. And such analysis scares us, you know. It's true, because it's uncomfortable sometimes how far we may have veered off that path. So my first piece of advice is helping people really take some time, and whether it's a piece of paper, whatever your means of data entry that you prefer, write down what is it that you want to achieve. And don't think small. Again, that's another trap. I really need to nail the nuance in, because I think it's important. I think it's important that we don't just give others cookie cutter advice, but they have some clarity as to how to put it into action. So in addition here, make sure that it's what you want, and it's okay to be very audacious. And again, people get shamed into not doing so. So without limits, even if everything you may not necessarily have, be as selfish as you want and as you can be, and really get clear as to what you want and really what it will take for you to get there. So again, number one, to reiterate, what is it that you want to achieve? Number two, which is even more important in my book, is why. You know, we may want similar things, but our why is always different. The real why, when you get to the root, the very deepest roots of it, is always different. And that is something I cannot do for you, especially listening to whether you're watching this video right now. You have to take some time, and you may need help doing it. Someone else, like a coach like myself, could help you. But generally, even on your own, why do you want what you want? What is your real motivation, right? Is it to feed your family, for a comfortable life? Is it that you want to drive the Mercedes Benz? You know, some people love cars. And is it that, you know, you just want to get out of your country, right? These are all examples. Is it that you want to build a large company? Is it that you just want to have enough and you want to be able to spend time with your kids, especially in a crisis and a time like this, you know? So we have different motivations for different reasons, and you have to get in touch, get some clarity as to what yours is. And that is something that I do very specifically, but anybody, that is paramount, because we end up doing certain things and we don't understand why we're doing them, right? Going certain paths or being pushed in certain directions or falling in certain pitfalls. And if we had this direction, our boundaries would have been better. So again, secondly would be why, getting clarity as to why you really want what you want. And when things get hard, it will really help you keep track, you know. And the third thing is really attempt to identify what's holding you back, what's stopping you. Everyone listening, don't just listen to this. Get a piece of paper even after you listen to this. If you're driving or somewhere else, what is holding you back? And be honest, because that is something no one can do for you. And only acknowledging what's wrong, what's holding you back, what has held you back so far, you could really begin to see your blind spots. So these would really be the three things, minimum, I would really advise anybody to do, no matter who you are, what you believe that you cannot get, you cannot do, or whatever your reasons are. We all have reasons. And those reasons are stories that we've told ourselves. And really, no matter what those you believe are for you, whether you believe it's genuine or not, so it's just fear. It's okay, but get clear on as to what those blocks are. Yes.
Absolutely. You need to have clarity before you just move on. Whether you are on road, if you are having a clear road, I think you'll be able to drive far away. Awesome. So just very similar to that question, Craige, why do most people are unhappy and not get what they want out of their life, even though they have all kind of resources or not in any of the case?
Good question. And I love the fact you also mentioned that even if they have so many resources, because I mean, we have Amazon, we have all this free stuff online, but most people don't get results. The bottom line comes down to one, distraction. Even where financial incentive goes to the companies that could grab our attention longer. So even those who consciously want to improve, want to really move in a direction, they want to be more productive, they want to really do the things that they know they should be doing. It's like they can't, you know. And it's unfortunate that, you know, we have many crises, but we don't acknowledge this one. So technological distraction is huge. And anyone who wants to accomplish anything decent has to have a decent grip as to really, they need to have control as to how much attention they devote to particular activities. Now, let me be clear right there, because I know that sounds a bit vague. You need to control your time. And with all these gadgets and platforms and interfaces, our dopamine is spiked up. The unfortunate thing is that it's been spiked up around things that don't serve us. Okay? And it's the companies are doing for profit, whether it's Facebook, whether it's LinkedIn, even, whether it's even many SaaS apps that you use today. Someone said, and I really agree, and I've said that in my program as well, that the biggest piece of distraction is your cell phone. Now, let me just get clear here. I'm not saying that you shouldn't jump on social media at all. I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun. I'm not saying you shouldn't get some entertainment in, whether it's your family, but you need to manage it. And things have gotten so bad where we don't have conscious control over that anymore. You think you do, but have you ever caught yourself scrolling and not sure what time it is? Right? Even when you have the business report or you have a day's work to complete, right? Isn't the news feed or isn't YouTube seeing what's, even the news, right? Some of us use the news and we waste time. Again, nothing wrong with the activity, but you have to understand the environment that you're living. There are lots of external pressures that prevent even the most committed people from doing and getting the things that they want, and those have to be managed. Whether it's you as an individual, or whether it's even your team if you run a large company, right? It affects your bottom line when people are not productive. So that's one thing that is holding even the most ambitious people back. Trust me, right? And I don't care who you are, how much money you make right now, you need to get a grip on this, because it may derail almost everybody, and it's getting worse by the year. So one is technology. The second thing is all of us, and I hinted it a couple of questions ago, all of the stories that we tell ourselves. You know, I don't have enough money. I'm not educated. My family is poor. I came from a third world country, right? I came from a poor country, poor background. My religion, maybe I'm Hindu or Islam, you know, and maybe there is some racial segregation, right? Or maybe I'm Christian and the elites are not like me. I'm just being hypothetical here, but these are real examples of what clients
Absolutely.
tell me, and even most people, and the stories that they tell themselves as to why they cannot have what they want. Now, there is some segregation and whatnot, but generally, most people who really succeed, it's despite that, and that could be you as well. So generally, the small excuses that we give to ourselves. Here's another good one. Let's say you have 2 kids, right? And maybe you've been busy and you want to go back to school, and maybe you use that. A lot of them may use that as an excuse as to why they cannot at least do some schooling online, right? And there are many examples we would go into, but basically I have a blog post that details this very well. I may put it in the show notes afterwards, but really it's those reasons that we tell and we convince ourselves that we cannot do something, we cannot have something, we cannot be there too, because it's all internal monologue. Is one thing that sabotages most people. So as we begin to let go of those, and it's never easy. However, just acknowledging them and questioning them, it empowers us a lot more. So again, technology, the excuses and the stories that we tell ourselves, and thirdly, it's really our beliefs, right? We have so many, and again, it's similar to the second as to stories, but generally, we have several cultural influences, right? And that varies from culture to culture, of course. Sometimes the environment that we're in and those beliefs that are imbibed into us. It could even be our families. Money grows on trees, a penny saved is a penny earned, right? And your parents or your families, or even those around you, they may be saying it out of good faith. It's not that they don't like you, but sometimes these beliefs don't always serve them. And everyone, funny you mentioned this, because part of my program, one thing that I do is that everyone has to do a very strict self-analysis, and you're always surprised in what comes up, even when I redo it. And my point is, everyone has those limiting beliefs tugging at them somewhere. It could be religion as well, So again, technology, for those listening and watching, limiting beliefs, and secondly, all the stories that we tell ourselves. And there are stories because, just to wrap this point up, there are stories because you could always find examples of people who defied them. And yes, you may not always be the outlier. However, that the belief of being different only starts with you. And it's only when you have the belief and you convince that you can do it, you're actually looking for how. And as you begin to look for how, you begin to see the options that you actually have available to you, which would actually disprove all the limitations that you self-imposing. Yeah.
Absolutely. And amazing concept that you just shared. Thank you so much, Craige, for sharing it. Similar to this question, what are some things anyone can do to start changing their life today? Even with the COVID going around, global lockdown, we have people losing their jobs and a lot of other things happening with depressions and everything. So what can they do today to, maybe baby steps, but then they can do to change their life?
Yeah, they're very good. First of all, if you're in a very tough spot and maybe you got displaced or someone in your family and it really affects you, I obviously sympathize. I mean, it is what it is, but you don't stay there, right? And it doesn't make much sense just complaining about it. I know things happen, but however, if you need to change your focus, and no amount of complaining may change that. Okay. Now, also things that people need to do to really be better. One is to really write their goals out and really write why they want certain things, and why they want what they want. It's amazing. If you poll your audience, if you poll even the population, almost nobody does this. And most people want complicated solutions. And yes, there are some really cutting edge things that really help depending on a particular situation. But most people don't do the simple things, yet they say they're trying so hard, right? So one, try to write your goals down in the morning and in the evening. And trust me, it's very psychologically triggering, because when you go to bed, your subconscious works on it, right? Instead of simply randomly spending your time, you could start doing this. And what the subconscious has there most of the time is what your entire being focuses on, right? And secondly, you need to ensure that you're taking advantage of all the opportunities that are online. The world is moving online. Look at the number of companies that are laying off people. And now, even if this thing goes back to normal tomorrow, or even if you listen and things are great, the economy is booming, it will not be the same. Some companies have restructured completely, and they're like, hell no, right? Now, whatever circumstance, you don't have direct control over that, but you have to ensure that whether you provide a service, a product, or you're a freelancer or a normal employee, that you're capable of providing your services online as well, not just in your brick and mortar store. You could still do that, but you have to do both. All right, whether it's teaching online, instructing online. So make use of all the online resources that are there currently, even in looking for jobs. The way that we do certain things, look at Amazon and look at commerce. I know in India, they came here recently and they're pretty established now. Many people are becoming millionaires just from that platform. So my point is, again, make sure that you move online. Make sure that you adapt to the trend of things coming online, and that you really prepared to profit from that. Because I can assure you, as bad as anyone's situation may be, there are people making a ton of money right now, right? Whether it's those who are doing fulfillment, although I heard recently that they got a cut on their commissions, or those doing e-commerce, they're making good money right now, or whether it's just freelance work, because now in a recession, people need skilled professionals. So not only you need to get online or transition your business or your service online, you need to ensure that you're more skilled because there is more competition. Okay? And only the skilled will survive, because now employers have more options, and you just have to make yourself more valuable. So if you want 3 technical things, it's this, and if you're a business owner, you need to ensure that you're ahead of the curve. You need to ensure that your company is really providing service at the quality that it should be, because the competitors will come. And with the internet right now as it is, especially if more people coming online around the world, increasing speeds across the globe, even in third world countries, the competitors will come from anywhere, right? And that is something now we really have to ensure that we're aware of, and that we really stay ahead. Again, there is no magic trick. And yes, there are always unique tactics in various courses that you may get that may benefit you. But generally, you have to be improving. And part of that is staying with the trends.
Absolutely. There was a book that I was reading, and it's a long time back. It's called as Who Moved My Cheese? And I think now with the changes that are happening, like if you do not adapt to change, I think you will perish. And as you were saying right now, that you need to also evolve yourself with the changes that are happening around us. I think the next question that I want to ask is why it is important for us to invest in ourselves.
It's important because the best one you will value it, because there's a common saying that says people show up when they pay for things. You value what you pay for. And I know that sounds basic, but really think about it. Have you gotten something for free? Did you value it as much? Now, there may be exceptions, but it's certainly not the norm. All right, just like a professional who renders services, if you have a business, for example, a lot of you may be doing digital marketing, right? Do the clients that you serve, do they value your services when you lower your fees or when you raise them? Not exorbitantly high, but where it's an investment for them and not just, like a meal ticket. They can care less, so you need to really ensure that it's your services are valued, and you need to ensure that you're getting paid well. Too many businesses don't charge enough. It's unfortunate, and yes, some people may not afford, but value is value. Okay, and it's not a matter of overcharging, because the value is in the potential return, especially even with coaching, for example. You're invested in your future self, in who, with help, you could become. If you're rendering services, whether it's YouTube SEO, digital marketing, social media marketing, I know a lot of the listeners on this show may be doing such. they're not just charging you for today, they're charging you for the rankings for how many more customers. What is that worth to them? Then you should be charging accordingly. So that is why people should invest in themselves, and not just with courses, coaching, but also your clients, your potential clients, in your services as well. And on a more personal level, you need to invest in yourself, because you don't just invest money, you invest time. Let's distinguish that first of all. Secondly, you need to invest in yourself so that you could really keep improving, because it's foolhardy to believe that the best information is always for free, right? Even those who disseminate the law of free information, their best stuff is paid, and it should be that way, and you shouldn't be angry at all. So if you feel angry that people should be charging for free or lower their rates, you need to recheck that, because value, again, you need to, if you want value, you have to be willing to pay for it. And again, you have to make an investment in yourself. And the last point on this question is that you really do the work when you pay the money. Especially with coaching with my clients, I could tell you, people who pay, right, are not necessarily exorbitant sums, because motivation, really the will to do may vary, but paying more is a good incentive to do the work. One pays more, they're more invested, right? And really, that's actually a good thing. You're actually doing your clients a disservice when you charge them cheap. I know some people that may not sound, that may sound counterintuitive, but it really is the case. I do believe in meeting people where they're at. Do not get me wrong, some might have been overcharged, but you have to give value, and also that has to reflect in who, as an individual, in your willingness to invest in yourself. So these are reasons, and I've given several angles and really live situations where we could apply, that you would really need to invest in yourself. Some people, for example, don't even want to pay for a course. They believe that everything should be for free, right? Are you getting results with what you have for free? And again, this is not attacking anyone, but really you have to ask yourself that question. It's not for me, it's for you. Okay? So these are a lot of the reasons why you need to invest. And I challenge you, money is relative. And I know some people may pull back at me saying this, but you don't just invest money, you invest in what you could get, right? There are people who do coaching and they make several times the return, or they make for a lifetime. For example, if you do SEO, you may rank a client website and he may get traffic for years. What does that worth to them? Millions, thousands, with all the searches we have online today. So we have to focus on ROI, not just the amount. And personally, the same thing applies, because one, you'd value, and two, you'd actually make the change, make the difference, and get the result. Yes.
True, absolutely. Because we have paid for our education, and education has only brought us to the level of we being able to understand and communicate with the language. However, now if you want to survive with the changing environment, I think we need to pay more for evolving ourselves more. So absolutely bang on target that yes, you need to invest in yourself in order to grow, because till the time you don't learn, you don't earn. Absolutely. So what are some of the key things that people are holding back from successes? Can you throw some light on that?
Some of the key things holding people back from success. Well, one is all of the beliefs that they've grown up with. And we all have things that did not serve us. But when you're older, of age especially, you're responsible now for them. And I know some of us may have different stories, different really adverse events, different bad events, terrible things that may have happened in our childhood. But when you're an adult, you're responsible for yourself now, not just financially, but emotionally, who you are, who you be to other people, who you be into the various relationships that you have. Okay? And it's not someone else's fault that you had a bad past. And that is not being sensitive, actually, because we all have varying past and circumstances. So generally, and really getting help, right? And doing the work and really seeing what's wrong, because most of us have things that were wrong with us in that it really conditioned us in a abnormal way, whether it's abuse, whether it's trauma, seeing certain things when you grew up, whether it's really just poverty even, certain quotes, certain beliefs, and really we have to get clear on who ideally we want to be. That may sound simple, but it's super powerful, and I help clients get extreme clarity on that to kill up when it excites them, because that you have to get for you. So really, a lot of the past emotions, a lot of the past experiences, a lot of the past beliefs is one of the key things holding people back. Okay. And secondly, the other thing is really just the limitations that we place on ourselves. And yes, they may come in stories, yes, they may come in things that we've heard and we've believed and subconsciously absorbed. But another side to that is also even where we don't challenge ourselves enough. Maybe we have big goals, maybe we have big ambitions, but we let society shame us. Okay, maybe you want to build a large business, maybe you want to really help a lot of people, and we have this imposter syndrome as to why we can't do things. And I want to say, if you're listening and you're watching and you hear my voice and you really resonate with my words here, I'm glad. But listen to this very well. You could achieve what you really want to achieve. And it's not just about being motivated. Everyone who had adversity and was successful, especially, they had periods of trials and tribulations. And your story, your situation that you believe doesn't have a fix, that you believe really cannot be pushed through, someone has had a similar situation. And even if it's different, yours is completely unique, know that you could do it as well. And you getting to where you want starts with that changing. Okay? So again, the second thing holding people back is just the lack of I can do it too. And that plagues a lot of people. And yes, a lot of it is beliefs, but a lot of it is just self-imposed limitations. And the third thing really holding people back is a lack of proper instruction, right? Jumping from product to product, jumping from course to course, video to video, it confuses the mind, right? The mind can only implement a certain number of things, and that is why, especially for coach, working one-on-one with somebody and holding them accountable is a different experience. But the point isn't coaching at all. The point is that we, in marketing, they call it shiny object syndrome, right? So really, that is something that really holds a lot of people back. And just that focus in one direction, because like we said earlier, as much as we have the correct resources, many of us don't take action. And we'll be further as to why. That's why. Because even an average course with a lot of implementation, you will get above average results. I don't care who you are. Okay? And generally, a lot of us get in our own way. So it's that clarity as to the action that we have to take with what we have, and really not looking for a shiny object or shiny software, a shiny funnel software, and just doing the work, doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. And if you're offline, it could simply be reading, right? Learning, using the free information rather than complaining that you don't have paid stuff. So getting out of the me cannot do it attitude to how can I, switching that mentality and really seeing yourself having what you want instead of all the negative stories and all the negative reasoning and all the reasons why you cannot get there. These are the things holding people back, generally.
Great. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing so much light on all these topics and the questions, and giving them answers very maturely. And it really seems like, that you have seen so much hardship, and with the experience that you have, the value that you have delivered today, it's really awesome. So thank you so much for giving that value. If the people who are either watching this video or listening to you would like to learn more from you, do you have any course? Do you have any program where people can attend and transform themselves with the value and the knowledge you give?
Okay, 3 places. One, I do have a course, although right now I'm actually launching 3 programs to really help people, whoever they are, get started and really make some progress in their lives, especially in a time where we have so much collective pain. It's called Bounce Back fast, and it's CraigeHardel.com. Again, all those links that I mentioned will be in the show notes. But if you want everything, it will be CraigeHardel.com/Maddy. We prepared a custom page for all your listeners. So again, bounce back fast, and that'll be free program. And it's really a mini version of our bigger program, Life Activation System. But it'll be CraigeHardel.com/bouncebackfast. And secondly, if you really love how I speak and it really resonates with you, and you want more, you're inquisitive, you want help, you're hurting right now, I feel you. I've been there before. And really, sometimes it really takes someone else coming in and helping you specifically. If you're that kind of individual and you don't want to hear more, you just want to know how you could get help, it's CraigeHardel.com/breakthrough. I offer a free session for those who are really interested. You come in there, you get on the page, you fill the form, you apply, and then we may speak. Okay? So generally it's CraigeHardel.com/bouncebackfast for my free program. I do have a larger program as well, Life Activation System. If you go on there, you'll find it. And secondly, it's really my breakthrough session, CraigeHardel.com/breakthrough. Again, if you want to place for all those links, it's CraigeHardel.com/Maddy. Also, if you like to email me directly, it's CraigeHardel@gmail.com. So simply send me an email, CraigeHardel@gmail.com. Lastly, I'm on social media as well, LinkedIn, and also on Facebook, Craige Hardel. So these are generally all the places that you could reach me, and I should be pretty accessible and should reply earnestly. But please, if you're not committed, that is the main thing. You have to be committed, and if you are, I'm more than willing to help, no matter who you are or whatever reasons that you may not believe that you may not reach your next level, because the next level is different for everybody. Whether you're at the 5-figure level and you want to move to 6, or the 6-figure level and you want to move to 7, or you're just getting started and you really want to just break through. Okay, so I really urge you, no matter who you are, reach out, don't hesitate. And secondly, use all the information that you have. And try my best to remove all the excuses for people, because I really want them to help themselves. And this is why I present all this. So yes, these are the ways that you would reach me. And I'd like to thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. We're in a time where we really need collective hand-holding, and we really need to be better, and we really need to inspire each other. So I really hope I did that for every one of you who listen, or wherever you listen. And remember, CraigeHardel.com/Maddy if you want to find out more. Yes.
Absolutely. So we come to the end of the episode, but before we end it, would you like to say something to our viewers as a goodbye note?
Yes. Life exists for a reason. You're here for a reason. Make the most of it. I don't care what happened before. We all have a past. We all have problems. And that is not being insensitive. It's really empowering you to be more. You deserve more. But you have to believe it first. And it's not just a matter of feeling motivated, but you really have to get clear on what's next for you. And as you do that, and as you have the courage to even begin to do that, mentally the gears will begin turning, and then the how will begin to fall in place. But you have to want it first. Even I cannot want it for you. I could help you. Mithiel could help you with his services as well. But you really have to want the change, right? And that is something I want for everybody. And I really want to help those of you who really want and need the help. We're always there. Okay, so the most important thing is not even that, it's you wanting to help yourself and those around you. So no matter what you are, take action on what you've heard here, and if you'd like, check us out. Yes.
True. Great. Thank you so much. So we are at the end of the episode. You have just listened to the Digital Maddy Show with your host, Mithiel Dave, and we have a lovely guest, Craige, and he has given awesome value bombs today. So if you are watching this video on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel. And if you're listening to this podcast, you can subscribe to Anchor or to Google Podcast. So thank you so much, Craige, for being on the show. It was an honor.
Welcome. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.